Hello everyone, today is November 2nd and we are going to be looking at Chromebook basics today. I do have a Chromebook that I'm going to be showing, but mainly I'm going to be using a Google Slides presentation, and you will be able to refer back to this. I'm going to give you the link so that you can go through that if you need to, share it with your faculty, whatever. Remember, next week we'll be looking at Chromebook apps and extensions. So I'm going to go ahead and get started sharing my screen with you. Hopefully we won't have any problems this week. So we are going to get going. Here's that link. I'm going to go back one more time. Here's that link for you to access the presentation. And like I said, I will be posting that in the comments of the webinar post in the Google Plus community. So we're going to just basically do a quick introduction and what a Chromebook is. Like I said, most of you may not have Chromebooks. We do have some of our title schools that are beginning to purchase Chromebooks. And so in the picture you see a Dell Chromebook. Most of the ones that we have are Lenovo's. We do have a few Dells, I believe, at Samsung, but basically the way you know that a laptop is a Chromebook is you will see that little Chrome icon there on the top of the laptop, and that will tell you that it is a Chromebook and has or runs off the Chrome operating system. It is a web-enabled device, so you are able to get on the internet. Some people think, well, a Chromebook is not like a laptop and you can't do everything on a Chromebook that you can do on a laptop, and that's just not true. I mean, there are some things that you can't do. You can't install software on this Chromebook because there's not a hard drive. That's the reason why they are so much cheaper than laptops. But with a Google account, anything that you need to save, you can save to the cloud, and any software that you might need can be found in the form of a Chrome app or extension. And like I said, we'll be looking at apps and extensions next week. So be sure and tune in and come back for that next week. The really awesome thing about Chromebooks is their quick startup. And that it just syncs everything with your Google account. Again, some things that you need to know. It does work with your Google account. And I'm going to go back to my camera, and I am just going to show you now the Chromebooks that we have. Here is, the little Chrome icon, and this is a Lenovo. So I'm just going to show you that, quick startup. Turn it around the right way. As soon as you lift the lid, it starts up. No pushing buttons, no nothing. Okay, and it's going to come up like this. When you receive Chromebooks, they must be enrolled in our Google console. Your librarians or media specialists are in charge of that. And so you need to make sure that you have done that first, because if you have not, then they're not enrolled in our management console. And you can see right here, you can't see it, but when you open it, a box will come up like this, and it says managed by Gadsden City Schools. So actually says GadsdenCitySchools.org. So you will have to have a GadsdenCitySchools.org account to be able to log into this Chromebook. Now you can, down at the bottom, log in as a guest and nothing will be saved. So you're not going to want your students to log in that way. You're going to want to make sure that they have accounts set up and can log into their Chromebook using those accounts. You will need to contact me if you need me to set up Google accounts for your students, because that is something that has to be done from the administrative side. So once you see this box, then all your student has to do is simply type in their email address, which is going to be their first initial last name and some numbers at GadsdenCitySchools.org. Your account would be the same way, be your first initial last name at GadsdenCitySchools.org. Okay, you don't have the numbers. And then everyone's password is the first 3 letters of their last name and the last 5 of their student number, or for teachers, their teacher number. So that is the Chromebook, and I'm going to go back to my presentation and jump right back in. Sorry, I'm going to make that look a little bit nicer for you. Okay, so you need your Google account to log in. We've already talked about the fact that you cannot install software because there's not a hard drive. It does have USB ports, and it also has an HDMI port. So for those of you that might be using them, you know, as a teacher laptop, you can connect those to your projector with an HDMI cable through the HDMI port, or a wonderful new extension that has come out is called Google Cast, and that will allow any of your Chromebooks to cast or project. So that is another extension that we'll be covering next week. Also, with another extension, you can view and edit Microsoft Office files, or you can use your Google Docs or Google Slides or Google Sheets in place of the Office files. Powering on and off is super easy. I already demonstrated how to turn it on. All you have to do is open the lid. To power the device off, you can power off in 2 different places. There's a power icon, or you can simply hold down the power button. Sorry, I'm trying to get out of my device. Logging into your Chromebook is super easy. Once you, if you're going to use them in your classroom, this is going to be the easiest way. Once you distribute and assign the devices to your students, they can, once they log into their account, they will put them a little icon picture so that when they open their Chromebook, all they'll have to do is enter their password. Now, if you're in a classroom using shared devices, I had a couple of classes last year that they were sharing between 2 classes, so we just set up 2 icons, and the students can choose their icon so that they know when they see that icon, they will know which icon to choose, and they'll simply type in their password. So I would suggest that, you know, with my iPad classrooms, I always had the teachers maybe post a role, class role inside their cart with their student device numbers out beside it. So even if you have several classes, you can set it up this way. Once they log in, it will create an icon for them so that they won't have to put in their username and password, but each time they'll just have to put in their password because that username is quite long. And if you need help doing that, getting your students started, please contact me, wgoodwin@gcs.k12.al.us, and you can schedule time for me to come to your classrooms and get your students logged in and get started with all of their Google applications. So this is just a screenshot of the desktop. You will notice that if you click the little apps icon, sorry, let me go back. I want that to go away. That's not what I wanted it to do. So you can click the little apps in the bottom corner. As soon as my taskbar goes away, you'll be able to see it. And you can, your students will have access to all of your apps. You can also pin those apps to the toolbar at the bottom. And you get all of these by searching in the web store. And that's what we're going to, like I said, talk about next week, just because we don't have a ton of time and there are so many great apps and extensions. I wanted to take time just for that. Features on your desktop, you'll notice that over here on the right hand, in the bottom right hand corner, this is your Wi-Fi. And you'll set that up actually in your initial, or your media specialist will set that up initially in the initial setup. So really your students won't have to worry about that. But if for some reason the Wi-Fi should drop or something, you can look here in the bottom right corner. This is the battery icon. Battery life for the Chromebooks is like 8 hours. So they do maintain their charge throughout the day. And then this is the account that you are currently logged into. So whatever icon the student chooses for their account when they sign in, that will be whatever account they're logged into, that will be the icon that shows up in that bottom right corner. You can also click right there to sign out and to do other tasks related to the account anyway. Okay, so in that menu, you can see your documents file. I don't think that's anything that is really, I usually just teach the students to go to the drive. I like to tell them that their drive is like their locker where they'll keep all of their stuff for every class. And they can also create there in the drive. But you do have that, like my computer file like you are used to on your PC. Okay, so now let's take a look at the keyboard. It looks like a normal keyboard, except you might notice this little magnifying glass, and that's your search key on a Chromebook. Your app list will open up. So remember how we looked in the bottom right corner and clicked apps? You can also do that if you click or access that menu if you click the search key. You can search for an app or search directly from the web here. And so that's, I think, really awesome. You also can use the search and alt key to turn your caps lock on and off. You'll notice that there isn't a caps lock key there. We're used to that being the caps lock key rather than the search key. But remember, this device is all about the web. So that is the reason, I think, for the search key rather than the caps lock key. But you will have to, you know, teach that to your students. However, I think it's most important that we teach them just to use the shift key in the letter to make a capital letter and not worry about the caps lock. Okay, so here's just a little quick video on some of the keyboard features. Oops, not what I meant to do.
Hi, I'm Josh. I work on the Chrome team at Google, and I'm going to show you how to master the art of getting around your keyboard on your new Chromebook. To get an overview of all the keyboard shortcuts, press Control, Alt, and question mark anytime you're logged in. With the keyboard showing on the screen, press Control or Alt to see the possible key combinations that will make your Chromebook experience even faster. There are 3 commonly used keyboard shortcuts. First, you may have noticed we swapped out the caps lock key for the search key. The search key is great for getting to your apps or doing a quick search, but if you can't live without the caps lock key and want to re-enable it, just press Alt Search. You'll see a notification in the lower right to let you know that caps lock is enabled. To switch it back, press the same key combo, Alt Search. We also changed the keys along the top row of your keyboard. Since people spend so much time online, we wanted to make the keys really useful for being on the web. Instead of the traditional keys like F1 through F9, we have back, forward, and reload, which work across all websites. We've also added a maximize key and one to switch between windows. And like other laptops, you can control your screen's brightness or volume. One last thing to note, because we wanted to make the Chromebook super thin and light, we removed the delete key. But fear not, it's still easy to delete. Just press Alt Backspace and it works the same way.
Okay, so those are just some keyboard shortcuts, and here are a few more of those if you are big on keyboard shortcuts. Okay, so now a little bit about the touchpad for those of you that are not used to a touchpad. You can right-click with 2 fingers on your touchpad. You can also scroll. I'm going to move this out of your way. 2 fingers on the touchpad will scroll up and down, or left and right will go horizontal. You also use just 1 finger to move your pointer, and you can also tap or click to, I think I moved forward, to select. So just some quick keypad functions, and that's really just something that you need to, you know, play with to get used to, and your students as well. You can also, it does have, you know, a USB port, so if you want to use mice for your students, then you may do so. So, okay, sorry. So bookmarking. You can follow these just instructions for installing your bookmark bar in your Chrome browser. This is just like you would on your desktop PC. You'll look for this little icon in the upper right corner of your browser, and you will click bookmarks and then show bookmark bar. You can also, so sorry, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time here scrolling between my, but you can also just use the star, click the star to add a bookmark once you have that bookmark bar. And you can see here that I have my bookmark bar installed. And but I can also click that star to favorite it, and then it would put it up here, although I have too many, so it's not actually putting it there. But you can very easily find that by going here to bookmarks and then see show bookmark bar. Okay, and then here is the star that we were talking about. So that's how to create a bookmark on your Chromebook or any laptop or any browser using Chrome, any Chrome browser, sorry. Okay, updating your Chrome browser. Sometimes you might need an update. And this is again in my way. I don't know what happened to my picture. Oops. Well, okay, so I'm so sorry. In the lower right side of your screen, it is supposed to be an arrow. I don't know what happened to my picture there, but if you see an arrow, that is telling you in your Chromebook that your Chromebook needs an update. And so all you have to do is click it and it will then restart to update. And again, very quick because, you know, it's a 6-second startup. So sorry that I wasn't able to show you that. Okay, so searching the web store, you'll notice on your Chrome browser that if you click here, and I really meant to do that in another tab. Here's how you can get to your Chrome store. Okay, those were all apps that I have. Let's see if it'll go back. These are all apps that I have loaded on in my Chrome browser. All of these little icons up here to the right of my address bar, those are extensions, okay? And so we're going to talk more about the web store and apps and extensions next week, but I wanted you to see the difference. And if you want to begin searching the web store for different apps and extensions, please feel free to do so. But that is, we're actually going to get more into that next week. So I'm going to now go back. And again, if you have questions about Chromebooks, the latest quote that I got was like $170. So they're super great price and very lightweight and easy to use. I'll point out a few features on the Chromebook. It has a little carrying case there, which, you know, I don't know if it's going to be that useful for anybody, but it also does have a camera at the top. You may have seen this, and it does swivel around so that you could make it, you know, forward-facing or rear-facing camera. We tend not to discuss this with the students because I feel like that could be a part of the Chromebook that could be easily broken or torn up. So, but I wanted you to know that it does have a camera. So the students can take pictures. It does not, you know, it'll go flat, like if they wanted to hold it over something and take a screenshot, but it is not, if any of you have seen the laptops at the high school. They fold over and turn into a tablet, and the Chromebooks are not like that. But they do have a camera, so I wanted to point that out as well. If you have questions, let me know. Thank you for attending.